Y'all, everybody just migrate on over. The great, I don't want to call it the, I don't want to say nothing crazy. It just ain't, not the great migration, but it's, everybody just migrate your ass on over to the pod, to the show. Unrivaled was fun hanging out with everybody, man. I enjoyed it. How y'all doing, Nick and Lo? I mean, just talking to y'all, but how y'all doing?
We fantastic, man. Appreciate everybody tuning in, man. What's up, Felicia?
Alicia, I know you was gonna be here. I see y'all piling in. We
Yeah,
sending the tweets off.
We a little later than usual, but we here.
Y'all know why we late. Unrivaled.
Yeah. We like Lauryn Hill. We don't show up on tonight's flying.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't give us the Lauryn Hill tag.
Lauryn Hill do be late as fuck though. I ain't gonna lie. That's why I'm never gonna go to a concert.
The last Lauryn Hill concert, I've been to about 5 or 6. The last Lauryn Hill, she's one of my favorite artists. But the last concert that I went to, and it will be the last concert I ever go to of hers. She was, I think I got there 2.5 hours after, and she was literally walking out probably about 15 minutes after I got there. Because I already knew I was going to be late because she's already late. So I got there in about 2.5 hours after it started. Yeah.
And she was still late, yo.
And then she came out and said,
"You had to run me my money."
Bro, look, she came out and said, I wasn't mad because I was, I wasn't mad because I didn't stay that long. I wasn't there that long waiting, but she came out and then she goes, I see you online. Everyone's saying I'm late. Y'all just need to be glad I showed up. I say, yeah, that's it for me.
That's some wild shit to say.
You were at that one?
Say it again.
You were at that concert whenever she said that?
Yeah, she must have said it more than once. That was the one in DC.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna say, because I mean, there was a video that went viral where she said it.
It could have been that one, yeah. But yeah, she definitely was like, she came out and said it, and I was like, girl, what?
Is Lauryn Hill and Anita Baker going head to head with being canceling shows?
Low on the cam.
Oh yeah, Lo didn't want to give y'all the cam on playback at all.
I told you that my back was hurting, so I was laying down. I think I hurt my back trying to pick up my son, but that's a whole other story.
Broke my back.
Oh damn! You know you got to bend your knees when you pick up the big ass kids.
But
you got to bend your knees.
He was acting real ratchet in Home Depot, so I had to yoke his little bit up.
Man, we got a good show for y'all, man. We got all college, we got Unrivaled, we got WNBA stuff, but episode 26 of the Best Damn W show.
Wally, you on?
Wally is the voice of God, I believe. Wally, are you there?
Yes, I am here. The voice of God is here.
Hey, we lit, y'all. We got Parks in the building.
Parks from Joe Budden.
Yeah, we got. Hey, this is gonna be fun.
I even got my own little entryway, so I can let y'all know that I'm coming through.
Oh my God, he probably got like a little sound effect or something like that. What up, K-Dot? But let's get right into this shit, man. We're gonna start with
disclaimer. We had a guest, but the show went a little longer, so they're gonna run it back.
Oh yeah, my fault. Damn, my fault. Yeah. The guests will be back on. It was just Unrivaled went longer with having 2 rounds in one night. Maybe it was just me. I just didn't know it was gonna be 2 rounds a night at all.
I didn't either.
I don't think anybody knew. I think a lot of people talk about that.
Yeah, I don't think Unrivaled made that known or explained that correctly. I feel I could be wrong there, but let's start. Man, we're gonna start with this. We're gonna start South Carolina versus Texas. Texas beat South Carolina 66-62 on Sunday. Real quick before we get into that, it was a good time. Thank you for coming, Jazzy. College basketball, we need to figure out something with these games on Super Bowl Sunday. We don't need 3-4 good games at 2:00. Like, I get it. We got multiple screens. Look, I got multiple screens. I can watch 7 more, but I don't want to have to do that. I want to be able to focus on, you know what I'm saying? Bless you, Lo. I want to be able to focus on that.
They need to do like the NBA. Like the NBA only schedules like 1 game on Super Bowl Sunday, and that's
that it. 1 or 2. You know what I'm
saying? But it's like a 12:00 game, so it's like it don't.
Yeah, Super Bowl. Yeah, like because at first I ain't gonna lie to you, I thought at first Notre Dame was supposed to come on at noon, and they moved that shit up. So it's like they made all. I mean, that wasn't a game, no way, but still, it was like other games we wanted to really watch at the same time. But man, but yeah, so South Carolina went down to Texas and lost 66-62. Nick, I'm gonna start with you. No, actually, I'm gonna start with you, Lo, because you actually watched the game live. What was your thoughts?
I'll start by talking about the AP ranking first.
Yes,
to number 4. They were previously at 2. I purposely don't think South Carolina should be lower than 3 or 3rd in the ranking. I fully understand that they recently lost, but I think it's just disingenuous to kind of ignore the gauntlet of ranked games that they just bodied. Some of these teams that they played, they won. These ranked teams that they played, they won by double digits. I think they beat, was it Alabama or was it Oklahoma? One of those teams, they beat them by 40.
By a lot. Yeah, they did. I think it was Oklahoma and Alabama.
10th, right? They were ranked 10th. So to be honest, in my opinion, the loss to Texas, it doesn't really change much for me about, my thoughts about this team. But overall, I think it was a great win for Texas. I think they needed it. They snapped a 57-game win streak in the SEC for South Carolina. So that was huge for them, just as like a confidence booster as you're going into the tournament. So now I know that they probably have, an extra chip on their shoulder, like, hey, we beat the best, so we can play with the best. Just a few things I wanted to highlight from the game that kind of stood out to me. Texas defense was effective. They were able to hold South Carolina to 36% shooting. And the few things that stood out to me were, first, the officiating was fucking terrible, like on both ends of the floor. It was awful. Like, it was literally reminded me of watching the WNBA. I'm sure it's the same refs that they just recycle, but it was just bad. And I think it was more detrimental for South Carolina because they thrive in transition and they flourish when they get out in the open floor. And when you're calling fouls every 2 seconds, like they did in the first half, especially the first quarter, it affects the pace of the game. And it limits what the players can do when you're in foul trouble. I mean, for God's sake, Pow and Sanaya Fagan had like 2 fouls in the first quarter. And those are 2 very important pieces to that team. Sanaya, especially because Ashlyn Watkins isn't there due to injury. Sanaya is a big piece for them. And we've known going into the season that South Carolina was already going to be thin at the center position. So her going to the bench with 3 fouls in the first half, like really affected the things that they could do. And it gave Oldacre just time to do whatever the hell she wanted in that post. Like, she was controlling the paint. And I just wanted to say 2 or 3 of those fouls on Sanaya were absolutely BS. Like, it was literally all ball. And anyone that watches her knows that she's a shot blocker. That is one of the upsides of her game. One of the positives of her game is that she's a shot blocker. And when you call the fouls like that, it limits what she does because she's going to play more passive because she doesn't want to get another foul call. So that was 1, the officiating. 2 is the offensive rebounds and just second chance points opportunities for Texas. Like I said, going into the season, we all knew that South Carolina was thin at the center position. So you saw Oldacre. She just had a solid game all around. Even when you look outside the stat sheet, her length and her size caused a lot of disruption in the paint for South Carolina. And the final thing I have to say just about this game was missed free throws on both sides, honestly.
Yes.
Texas shot 66% from the free throw line, and South Carolina shot 65%. And to be honest, that's the difference that was in the game. I mean, the difference between the game, like, if South Carolina hit their free throws, they would have won this game easily. You know what I'm saying? So am I concerned? Not at all. They won 17 straight after they lost to UCLA. So this is just, another wrinkle in their journey. I think it'll just make them better. And when you look at the box score, Fort Wiley was the leading scorer for them. I think she only had 11 or 13 points. My bad, Daisha.
We just started. We good.
We just started 11 or 13 points. So when you look at it, like, Raven had one point, like, that's just not enough. Like, the starting 5, they didn't do what they needed to do in order to win that game. So kudos to Texas. I thought it was hilarious that the broadcast was so heavy on Madison Booker.
I knew she was gonna bring this up.
I love her game. I love her. I speak highly of her. But I really had to go back and look because I'm like, bro, they talking about her like she the best player in the country, right? So I go and pull up the box score. I'm watching the game live, but I'm like, it's no way she's playing that great because I'm literally watching the game live. I pull up the box score. She 4 for 14. I'm like,
yeah, I think she ended up like 7 for 22 or some shit like
that. Right,
that.
like, terrible shooting night. But what I will say is she did better this game versus the last game because she inserted herself more On the defensive end, she rebounded more. I think she had like 9 or 10 rebounds. So I do like the fact that even though her shot wasn't falling like, she would like to see it, or that she's accustomed to seeing it, she got to the basket so she could get to the free throw line. She did other things that just helped her team win. And so solid win for Texas, but I don't think South Carolina should be lower than 3.
No, they should not. Go ahead, Nick.
I agree with everything Lo said. First and foremost, give credit to Texas. This was a big win, honestly. Anytime you get a win against like a powerhouse program like South Carolina, that's a big confidence booster for a team like them, especially considering the last time they played them, they got their asses handed to them. So give credit to them for being able to adjust, be able to prepare for this matchup, then of course come out with the win. 44% shooting from the team overall. Lo alluded to it earlier. The defense from Texas was just stifling, honestly. I mean, they were pressuring, they were rotating really well on the defensive end, creating turnovers. So you could tell they came into this matchup fully prepared to go at South Carolina on the defensive side. So give credit to them. But one of the things that really stood out to me was the presence of the bigs for Texas. I mean, Taylor Jones had 11 points and 6 rebounds. What's her name? Kyla Odaker, I think that's her name. Had 13 points and 6 rebounds. Yeah, Odaker had 13 points and 6 rebounds as well. I mean, getting those second chance opportunities and just being able to create extra offensive possessions are really huge. So you saw what Texas was able to do for that. And on top of that, like Lo said, without the presence of Ashton Watkins, the big man for South Carolina, it's very thin from that aspect. So teams are going to look to take advantage of that, and Texas definitely did, honestly. And honestly, it's crazy because South Carolina could play such a horrible game and still only lose by like 4 points. Like they did not play well whatsoever in that matchup, but they still had a chance to win that one. And and give credit to them. They definitely got off to a slow start. Give credit to Texas for the hot start, but them just being able to weather the storm. I think Malaysia Fulwiley was the only player for South Carolina that was in double figures. Everybody else had like 6, 7, 8, 9 points. So yeah, from that perspective, you got to get more production, especially out of players like Tahina Pau, out of Tessa Johnson, Raven Johnson, especially out of your guard play, honestly, especially when you're going up against players like Rory Harmon and then of course like Madison Booker as well. But give credit to Texas, man. Texas was able to fight through it and then of course, come out with the win, honestly. And as far as South Carolina being ranked 4th is just flat out ridiculous, if you ask me.
It is.
If you ask me, they still should have remained at 2. I don't care if they lost this game. They're still the second best. Well, if you ask me, they are the best team in the country. They should be ranked number 1 if it was up to me. But, for them to drop from 2 to 4 after just one loss is just insane to me, especially when you look at strength of schedule. Like, they played over 8, 9, 10 ranked teams in the country since they lost to UCLA, and they found a way to win all of them except this game against Texas. So it's just absolutely ridiculous to me how you put both Notre Dame and Texas ahead of them. And look, it's not a knock to both of them. We all know Notre Dame is playing great basketball. They haven't lost since I believe Thanksgiving. And even
since
Texas,
that trip over into the Cayman Islands.
Right. And even Texas, honestly. I know that Texas just got the win, but you're telling me that they're a better team right now than South Carolina? You're out your fucking mind, honestly. That's just my opinion, but overall, South Carolina's still the team to beat.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, they're going to make their adjustments, but I think a loss right now is good for them, honestly. I think they're going to go back to the drawing board, figure everything out, and I think that they'll be ready to close the season out on a high note.
Definitely. I don't know if Lo said it and one of my earbuds fell out, but I didn't know South Carolina was on a 57-game win streak in
they hadn't lost the FCC game since like 2021.
Yeah, I didn't know they was in that long of a streak. Yeah, well, that shit. And they talking about a damn rivalry with LSU. Please, ain't no way.
I have a quick question.
Go ahead.
Rory Harmon, are we still deciding whether she's getting slandered or what? Like, are we still saying that she's recovering from the knee?
I think she still is. I think ACLs, man, that should take 2 seasons. And look, you're out there playing, but I don't think she'll be better until next season. Personally, I think, you know what I'm saying. With that big ass brace, I know people play with them, but that, man, when you shifty, man, that shit still fucks with you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. And honestly, is she getting slandered? Is she getting slandered on the timeline, or not enough for you, Lo?
I don't
know.
Not enough.
I listen. I'm all for. I personally don't think she's 100%.
No, she's not.
But against South Carolina, 1 for 9. You shot 11% from the field. Against Vanderbilt, 1 for 6. You shot 16% from the field. Against Maryland, another ranked team, you shot 1 for 7. You shot 14% from the field. So against these ranked teams, I'm looking here. South Carolina, 4 for 11. You shot 36%. Like, I'm looking at all the ranked teams. Every ranked game, she has not done anything. 2 for 9 from Notre Dame. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it. So I'm discussing Rory, Tom. Rory so my thing is like, you play decent against the teams that aren't that talented, but when it comes to top talent, my knee hurts.
And this is a player, honestly.
Nick, not enough slander for her.
But also, I remember this vividly. This was last year before Rory got hurt. Texas played UConn. I don't remember the exact numbers Rory had, but she had a really great all-around game. And it just hasn't been the same production hitting this year. And I get it, you know what I'm saying? Recovering from an ACL tear is not the easiest, honestly. And I mean, it's like Jay said, I mean, it definitely takes a couple years. But honestly, I still feel like both her and Madison are still trying to find a way to really gel with one another.
I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is.
So too, honestly, because I mean, right? Because I mean, and you can even tell. Like, I'm not gonna say Madison has not been as effective this year because she's definitely been great, but I think probably with less responsibility now, because you got to think last year whenever Rory went down, that's when you saw Madison with the ball in her hands a lot more, especially with the playmaking and the scoring. This year is kind of the same, but now she doesn't have to rely on the playmaking aspect, and I think maybe she's still trying to adjust, honestly. So. I don't know, man. I mean, it's just something to really look into, especially as the season does progress. But I mean, Texas is still a really great team, honestly. I don't know exactly how far they'll go in the tournament, if you ask me. But I mean, they're always going to be a widely respected team, especially in the SEC.
And I don't want to be disrespectful. I just think that like they don't move me. So like when South Carolina lost, it didn't like I wasn't like, oh God, Texas is here.
Yeah.
You know? Like it literally didn't do. Like I was just like, oh, the officiating was terrible on both sides. Like it just wasn't a good game. It was like an ugly game. And I guarantee you, if the officiating was a little bit different in the first half, like South Carolina would have won. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't, and I'm not trying to take away from Texas. It's just that team that they have assembled, it's not a top team to me. Like people are acting as if they are going to be like a Final Four team. I just don't see that. Now, can they make it to the Final Four? Possibly. But it depends on what region they end up in and who else is in that region. But they just don't. If I'm in the NCAA, they just don't really strike that much fear into me.
That is. It was funny. When the rankings came out, y'all. We all just assumed when we saw Notre Dame at 2, we just assumed South Carolina was number 3, and then Lo put the rankings in the group chat. She put the rankings in the group chat, and we all was like, "Now hold up."
I was like, "Nah, they're actually 4."
Yo, 4 is just way too much.
Nick went nuts when I said they were 4.
That's what I'm saying. They dropped 2 spots off of 1 loss after winning like I don't know how many games. They haven't lost in almost or over 2 months.
Yeah, they won 17 in a row since UCLA game.
Literally,
like I get it, and I know the committee was gonna be crazy like that, but. They Notre Dame is still not better than South Carolina, man. So it's like I
see, this is the thing. I don't mind Notre Dame at 2. I can see South Carolina or Notre Dame being 2. I can see either.
Yeah, I don't mind it either.
But like 4 is nuts to me.
4 is crazy.
Yeah, 4 is just nuts.
Texas is not better than them. I don't care if they won on Sunday.
No, yeah. So is it like? Does the committee do this? I know in like college football, they be on crazy shit, but it's like sometimes people feel like if you lose to this team has to move above you. I'm not agreeing with it.
But that's the thing is like, what are they basing off? Are they just basing off of that loss?
Is it week? So is the ranking supposed to go week by week? Like we only look at this week. Like this is they never tell us what are they actually basing things off of.
It's a specific criteria, but I know they're supposed to go off of strength and schedule. It's supposed to be a number of things that they're supposed to go off of. I don't know exactly what they do, but I just know it's like strength and schedule. Because they do strength and schedule / the net ranking, and then I'm not sure what other criteria. It's supposed to be week to week though, but I don't know how they do it, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think we still feel like South Carolina is still better than, especially even though.
Don't let this AP poll fool you guys, man.
Yeah,
like, honestly, I don't care if they're ranked number 4. Like the fact that they're not top 3 is absolutely insane.
No, yeah, no, they're definitely they're top 3 in the country for sure, definitely. So, but man, I know it's some BS. Yeah, please. Hey, South Carolina fans been mad as fuck about that 4 ranking,
Felicia,
and they
I'll be
should
real.
be.
I'm not even a South Carolina fan, and I was mad. Fuck.
No, yeah, it was. Nick was hot. Yo, Nick was so hot.
I'm like, are you kidding
But I
me?
was like, I get it. Yeah, they're gonna be at 3, but once we found out it was 4, like, no, man, that's way too.
And then Jay was like, well, they just lost. I'm like, I don't care if they just lost.
No, like, no, what I was saying, like, I get the loss and making them. I thought it was gonna be 3. Like, okay, fuck it, you make them 3, whatever. But dropping them to 4 was just way too much. Like, you didn't have to do all that. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't like Texas blew their doors off. You know what I'm saying?
It was a 4 points.
Yeah, it was a 4-point win. So that was the thing as well.
They played arguably their worst game of the year, and they still lost by 4.
Yes, I think UCLA beat them more than that.
And they missed at least 8 free throws.
Yeah,
I think so. I think you're right about that. At least that they didn't shoot well from nowhere, really. Honestly, you know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't rebound good.
Texas won the game and didn't hit 1 3.
Not one. They only shot 4 of them, but that's crazy.
I mean, and they're not a good point shooting team, but like to beat South Carolina, like if someone told you Texas beat South Carolina without hitting 1 3, you like, huh?
Yeah. That was the crazy part when I saw that. I didn't even realize it. Going back to watch the game, that they didn't make a 3. So that was definitely insane.
He said, "Agree. We shouldn't be over South Carolina, and that's my team.
We just won at home."
And I mean, look, I'm giving Texas their credit for finding out a way to win that game. I'm not trying to discredit them at all, but just for the AP to just drop South Carolina like that, it's just I can't rock with that.
Yeah, definitely.
I love villains in sports, and South Carolina definitely the villain of college women's hoops for sure. But man, they're gonna get their lick back for real. They're gonna run through the tournament, the SEC tournament, and then March Madness, and they're gonna be in the Final Four once again.
But this makes the SEC tournament even more lit, like because now they're gonna have that battery in their back again. So whoever, I don't know who they play next. I think they play Florida.
Yeah, Florida.
Florida probably gonna get beat by 50.
Good luck, Florida.
Is it at home too? I wonder if it's at home.
I'm not sure if it's at home. But Florida probably gonna get beat by 50 because Don probably.
It's in Columbia.
Look, Don probably put them through the ringer in practice after that loss. Child, they went by 50.
Definitely. Moving on from one powerhouse to a powerhouse that's about to end. The end is near. I'm talking about Uconn. Uconn lost to Tennessee. Forgive me, man. I should have pulled up the score. Y'all got the score, but they lost. They lost to Tennessee. Was that Saturday? Was that Saturday or
Thursday?
Was that Thursday?
I think it was.
I missed that game. I did miss that game live, but it was Thursday. And they lost, but Gino called out Paige, talking about we don't have players doing enough, basically. There's no quotes here. I don't have to verbatim, but he was basically, we all knew who he was talking about. He was talking about Paige. Man, how you feel about Uconn, man? First of all, the game, I didn't have a chance to go back to watch it. Forgive me. I didn't have no time to do that, but how you feel about that game and his comments on Paige and Paige overall?
Hey, before we get into that, Wiley, pull up that post I sent you, man. I just want to get my shit off real quick, man.
Hey, listen, Nick and Wiley be on their own little thing behind the scenes.
Do y'all be texting in private or what?
I'll be having it, I'll be letting them know, like, hey, Wiley, pull us up for the show, man.
This guy is wild. I didn't even see you tweet that.
Either, yo.
I sent it in the group chat.
Nick
I missed that.
Nick sent me stuff on the low, so y'all can do the same. Just all you gotta do is hit me. I'll make sure.
Oh my god, this is so funny, yo! Oh my god.
But now back to the whole Uconn Paige thing. I think it's time that we need to have a conversation. In all seriousness, Paige Beckers has not been playing the strongest this season, and don't get me wrong, she's projected to be number 1, which I still think that she's deserving of that. But let's be real, she's been coasting this year. And Uconn right now is not looking like a championship team to me. Now, look, they're going to get in the tournament. They'll probably get to the Sweet 16, maybe Elite 8. But
hey, man,
as far as
they're playing the Big East. That's why.
That does play a role as well. But you got to look at it like they played how many games against top? They've only played a combined 6 games against ranked teams, and they played 25 games overall. That's just absolutely insane. And They lost two. They're 0-2 against top 10 teams. They lost both of those games to Notre Dame and to USC. The other games, I think they played North Carolina. They ended up winning that one, and then they played another game as well. I can't remember, but
they almost lost that North Carolina game too, man.
They did,
Notre came back in that. I remember watching
they
that.
definitely did. But just going back to that Tennessee game, definitely give credit to Tennessee for the win. But I was disappointed in Paige because I'm looking at her down the stretch. I'm not seeing her call for the ball. I'm seeing her, shy away from the opportunity down the stretch. And I've been on record saying this, like when it comes down, because I know a lot of people compare Caitlin Clark and Paige Beckers. To me, if you ask me, I think that Paige is just a more talented scorer. That's just my opinion. But the one thing that separates Caitlin is Caitlin got a dog in her. And I gotta always acknowledge that because when it comes down to like down the stretch to find a possession, you know where the ball is going to. And you know Caitlin is not going to shy away from that moment. We've seen it several times throughout her college career. She hit a game winner against Indiana her junior year. She hit a game winner against Michigan State her senior year. For some reason, I'm not seeing that same mentality from Paige, honestly. And Paige is very talented. I'm still a very great Paige Beckers fan. But for her to be shying away from these moments, especially in a big game against Tennessee, where that was a winnable game for them, I just can't rock with it. And then on top of that, I mean, she had a bad game. I mean, she shot 5 for 16 in that matchup. But this team can only go as far as Paige takes them. And with the way that she has been playing, honestly, like this is not a team that I'm looking at that I believe could be a championship team on. Now, look, I know they got Sarah Strong. She's one of the best freshmen in the country. They got AZ Foot. Whenever she's healthy, she can't produce. They got RB Griffin. They got a lot of other great players, but this team can't go far without Paige playing at the highest level, if you ask me. So until she finds the way to elevate her play, I can't see UConn being a top contender as far as winning a championship. That's just my opinion.
What you got, Lo?
I have a question.
Let's get it.
Is Paige not exhibiting a killer instinct, or is the offense holding her back because they're running the Princeton offense? So it's very AAU, rec ball, everyone gets a touch type of offense.
Yeah, I'll say it's probably a mixture of both.
Because I've been hard on her in the past. Like, I just haven't seen the killer instinct. I'm gonna wait until she gets into the league to see, if I actually see it. But then when I took a step back and actually thought about it, I'm like, look at this offense that they're running. Like, it's a joke. Like this Princeton, all this version of the Princeton offense that they're running is a joke. 3 people on that team can score. Paige, Sarah, and AZ. That's it. Like, those are the main people that you have to worry about. So those are the main people that need the ball in their hands at all times. Like, this back cutting and screening, all that is cute. But when the game is on the line, I'm not having KK take a final shot. I'm not having Ashlyn Chen take a shot. I'm just not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think it's frustrating because Gino makes these like sly remarks in the presser. And so when I first heard him say what he said about Paige, my initial thought was like, sheesh, like, I feel like he was throwing her under the bus without taking accountability for him being so rigid in his inability to adjust as a coach. So it's like, you're playing this rec ball style, like, cut the shit and play D1 hoops. Like, this is not, hey, everyone gets a touch because their parents are going to bitch because they're not getting the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is real NCAA, like, D1 basketball. And I think when you have players as talented as Paige and Sarah, like, they need to be looking to score each time that they have the ball. And when, I'll give you an example, when Uconn played Notre Dame went on a run, and I said on the playback, I'm like, at this point in time, Paige needs to say, fuck whatever Gino's calling, give me the ball and go get a bucket. That's what people with killer mentality do. I'll get it. If I get in trouble after, that's cool, but I'm about to go win this game for you. You know what I'm saying? And so I just don't see that. Like, she can see the other team getting scored on. Like, let's say the other team goes on a 10-0 run. She'll come down and make the right pass. I'm not trying to see that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and again, it's the right pass. It is the right pass. But when you're the best player on the team, you got to put the team on your back. You got to know when, hey, it's not time for me to pass right now. I got to go score. I got to go get us a bucket so that we can stay close. So I didn't love that Gino did it publicly because it's like, number one, you have yet to take accountability for this shitty offense that you're running. Maya Moore ain't walking through them doors, sweetie. You got to adjust. Okay. And my second thought on it was like, maybe he's doing it from like a strategic standpoint instead of like yelling at her and telling her in practice, which he's probably been telling her. Maybe he's trying a different way to just motivate her. I don't know. I don't love it. But I will say I don't see this team as a Final Four team. And I'm going to just throw it out there. A lot would have to change. Outside of Paige and Sarah, everyone else is just very inconsistent. AC Buzz seems like she's still nervous to really test out that knee and go full throttle. So until she can trust the process and hoop fearlessly, I don't really see this team doing much. Like the regular season wins and the record without many losses, like a winning record is cute, but like, when's the last time y'all won a championship? And I don't think it's going to be this year either.
It's not. And you're going to get your doors blown off against South Carolina. One thing about
that game, like the 15th or 16th, something like that.
Don't give me the line. While I looked that game up, that date.
South Carolina,
Paige, I'm gonna ask you this. Because I need to still go back and watch this game, but Paige, she only ended with 14, but she was 5 from 16 from the field and 2 from 6 from 3. 16 shots is not enough, but man, 5 for 16 is crazy. So y'all seen the game. Was she just struggling? Could she not hit? Like, what was going for her to be? Because Sarah was 8 for 13.
No, I think Tennessee did a really good job. I mean, Tennessee is one of the more premier defensive teams in the country. Honestly. I think they threw a lot of bodies at Paige, whether it's Talasia Cooper or Sam Spencer or whoever it was. So I definitely give credit to them from a defensive perspective. And I also give Paige a lot of credit for even finding ways to maneuver through that defense, because there's a lot of times where she drove the lane or she found a shot around the mid range. So I definitely give her credit, for finding ways to get find a way to get buckets, honestly. But I think part of the reason for the struggle had to have been Tennessee's defense, honestly, because they were strapping up on her. And I'll be real, man, Tennessee, if you can't find a way to beat that full court press, you're gonna lose.
It's ugly for you. Yeah, it's ugly for you.
They pick up 94 feet and they're looking to create turnovers from the get-go. So
every single time.
And I just also want to throw this. Go ahead, Nick. Go ahead.
No, I'm good. Go ahead.
I also just want to throw this disclaimer out there. It's not like Paige is playing terrible. Like, she had a bad game against Tennessee, but she's still shooting 53% from the field overall. So she's not playing terrible. So that's not what we're saying, because I know some people are going to watch this and be like, oh, they're saying Paige is playing terrible. That's not what we're saying. But when you're the projected number one pick, and when you're 23 years old and you were the player of the year your first year, like, we just expect a little bit more. Like, at no point in time should Sarah Strong look like the best player on that team. Not as a true freshman. Like, and it's been plenty of games where Sarah has looked like she's the best player on that team.
Absolutely.
So,
thank you, Felicia.
I think it's just disappointing more so than anything that this is the number one pick that's supposed to be, and I believe is a franchise piece for a team. But I just don't see that right now. It's the same thing. We could say the same thing about Kiki in USC. Like, she was projected at number 2, and I just don't see that.
She could be playing safe for sure.
She definitely is, and I don't know why she would want to be playing safe. Like, because it's like when you look at Paige, I guess that's true, but it's like when you look at Paige last year and this year, I feel like it's night and day. Like, she was by far a better player last year, especially on both sides of the court. This year, it's like you said, Lo. I mean, she's still shooting around 53% from the field. So when you look at it from a numbers standpoint, it's not bad, but it's not up to par as far as what we expect from Paige, honestly. So to me, like I said, I mean, like, this team is not going to go as far unless Paige elevates her game, honestly. I mean, as good as Sarah Strong is, as good as other players are, like, Paige has to be that driving factor that's going to help them, be able to get to the Elite 8 or Final 4 or whatever.
Now, one thing I will say is last year also, Paige turned up a lot more when the tournament happened, like when the tournament started. So I'm wondering if she's just trying to conserve her energy, until the tournament time. Because if you think about it, she put that team on her back and got them all the way, to the Elite 8, past the Elite 8, right? Yeah, Final 4, right?
Final 4, yeah.
It was to the Final 4. So she put them on her back and got them to the Final 4. And yeah, she had Aaliyah Edwards, but also like Sarah Strong is playing really, really well now. So now you have Sarah and you have Fuzz. So you have options if you can get there and turn up. But that's my thing. I'm interested to see if she's just kind of coasting until it's go time or not. So we'll see in a couple months.
I don't think the UConn is a contender for national championship. I also think it's just time for UConn to leave that
the Big East,
to leave the Big East. It's time because like and not saying like the SEC or Big Ten don't have bad teams. They just don't have teams like DePaul and Providence and whoever else is in the Big East. Like they beating the doors off teams. Like it looks better when you beating the doors off teams who are ranked. You know what I'm saying? But then you shouldn't be having to play teams like DePaul and Providence in February.
Right. And that's the thing too, that's the thing, because it's like I don't want to disrespect any teams in the Big East.
No, I don't.
I've had a chance. I mean, I've had a chance to watch a few of them. I mean, they're pretty good. Like I think obviously Providence, I think they're a pretty good team. Marquette's a pretty good team, but they're not on that tier as far as top contenders. Like you look at the SEC, you got South Carolina, you got Texas, you got LSU, you got Oklahoma, you got Tennessee. You look at the
Kentucky.
Big Ten. Kentucky as well. You look at the Big Ten, you got USC, UCLA, Ohio State, Maryland. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got all these high quality teams. Whereas the Big East, respectfully, I mean, they are good programs and they do have some solid teams, great talent there, but they're not on that same tier, respectfully.
This is not the Big East I grew up on. Shut up.
Real quick. While we're discussing UConn's
hold on, Wiley. That's your little sound bite to come in.
That's right. Hey, gotta knock first.
Bro, I legit thought somebody was knocking on my door. I'm not gonna lie.
Go ahead, man.
But as we talk about UConn, here's the rest of their games for the season. We got St. John's, South Carolina, Seton Hall, Butler, Creighton, and Marquette.
Wiley, be careful, Wiley. They're gonna get you the same way they got me when I was announcing LSU schedule.
You're right. Hey, that's the schedule.
Remember, they got mad at me about it. I'm like,
again, that's the schedule.
That's a nasty schedule. Like, look at that. Like, look, all the powerhouses left the Big East. Why aren't you leaving? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think it's two things. Them being in the Big East, and Gino is at that age. He's 70-some years old, man. If he don't want to change with the times, UConn as a powerhouse would not be there no more. Like, players would not want to go to UConn. They see how Paige is being used. They're like, man, hell no. I can go anywhere else but there. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to be too harsh on them. Gino is who he is, but you can't be running this everybody touch the ball before somebody shoot as offense. It's just not going to work against good teams.
I just want to throw this caveat in there. Last week or the last net rankings that came out, UConn was in the top. So their schedule must have been difficult that week. Because it was like South Carolina and I think UConn was like 2 or 3. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there.
Who have they? They're gonna go 1-4 against ranked teams this year. I don't think they're definitely not gonna get a 1 seed whatsoever. But yeah, it's not looking good it's not looking good. And honestly, I just like really talking crazy about UConn because the fans be so upset. They be thinking everything is about UConn. They think everybody just hate UConn. Listen, this is not the early 2000s. We don't give that much fuck about UConn. Just be honest.
You ain't walking through them doors.
You know,
like exactly. Like
it's funny you say that because I remember exactly a tweet from this guy. Y'all know which guy I'm talking about. I'm not going to mention his name, but he put out a tweet I think like a month ago. He's like, "Whoa, our 2019 team." Like, what the fuck? We talking about 2019?
Right.
25. Like, what are we doing?
Hey Nick, I saw somebody tweet today. Man, if this team had Nika and such from last year, man, why are we talking hypotheticals? Like
exactly.
About last year.
You worried about the team you got now,
right? Anyway,
UConn, they've been so irrelevant for real. Other college news. USC beat Ohio State. We can talk about them for real quick, but if y'all was there for the playback or if you just watched the game, yeah, USC beat the shit out of Ohio State. I didn't see that coming. I thought Ohio State matched up well. We still had USC winning, but they won handily. But man, how y'all feel about Juju? Y'all think that she need rest or she just going through one of them slumps?
The whole team needs rest. I mean, their travel schedule has just been ridiculous, honestly. I don't know what their next couple games look like. Hopefully they're home games, but
UCLA is on Thursday.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, they are playing
play
UCLA
twice though in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, they do.
Ain't no days off. Just gonna have to find a way to mentally prepare, honestly, man. But I mean, I'm glad that they got a little bit of a break now between this Ohio State game and then, of course, this upcoming UCLA game. So I mean, that definitely gives them an advantage. But I mean, I'll give them some credit because even though they've been going through this tough schedule, they found a way to come out on top in most of these games. I mean, I know that they lost to Iowa last week, but for them to be able to go on the road, beat Maryland, and beat other teams like Rutgers or Wisconsin or whatever, I give them a lot of credit, honestly, because I mean it's not easy to do, especially going from one coast to the next.
No, go ahead, Lo.
I mean, I agree. I think it's been obvious that Juju has not been shooting the ball well in the last 5 to 6 games. And just when you look at her overall team in general, I mean, they look like they are gassed right out the gate. Like
out the gate.
I mean, literally out the gate. Right
Jump
out the gate. Literally, like it just looks like it looks like they're gassed. I mean, in 2 of the last 6 games, like against Minnesota, Juju shot 23% from the field. That's nasty. Against Ohio State, shot 29% 23% from the field from Ohio and then 29 from Minnesota, but 16% from deep. And it's like
she only had 14 points against Wisconsin.
Right. Her scoring averages the last couple games have been a lot lower. And I think it's a number of things. I think that she's pressing. I think that her shot selection isn't where it should be, but more importantly, I mean, they're all fatigued and it's you can just tell. And people specifically and Uconn fans specifically, I'll say, said that I was making excuses for Juju's poor shooting, basically saying that, because I tweeted something that said they appear to be tired based on them going coast to coast, like because the last 5 to 6 games they just came out flat, like every single game. And so someone commented was like, "Oh, but you're making excuses for them." How the hell am I making excuses when they're still winning? They only lost 2 games. So what excuses am I making? Like,
and they beat UConn, snatched their chain at their house.
Exactly.
UConn shouldn't even be talking.
Exactly. Worry about that. That's number 1. Number 2, UJ specifically talked to one of the coaches and he said that the girls were tired. That's number 2.
Yes.
And then like literally you talked to the man and he confirmed it. And then, like, thirdly, just based on the
exhausted. He said they're exhausted.
Exactly. And then just based on the eye test, they look sluggish. Like I said, as soon as they come out, like, they're just a step behind. And I think, that will not cut it on Thursday against a UCLA team. If they come out flat and if Juju is shooting poorly as she's been shooting, it's going to be a long night for them and it could get very ugly.
It will. It definitely will. Who y'all got winning that game real quick?
UCLA and USC.
Yeah, it's in USC. It's in USC.
I got UCLA winning.
I got UCLA too.
Yeah, I think UCLA gonna go in there and take care of business. Because I don't think they got no answer for Lauren Betts. like no one whatsoever. After I saw Sarah, what's her name? Williams go crazy on Kiki and Rhea Marshall. Lauren Betts is gonna have a field day for sure.
That's if they can get her the ball correct.
Say what?
If the guards can get her the ball correct.
Yes, if they give her the ball, that's the only thing that stops UCLA. Them not giving her the ball.
But I mean, they still got other weapons. I mean, they got Kiki.
Yeah, they do.
Right?
No, they do.
Barker. They got London. Yeah, London Jones. Like they got weapons, man.
Yes, for people who don't watch UCLA, it ain't just Lauren Betts. She's just a featured player, for sure. Like it's definitely other players for there for sure. But yeah, do y'all real quick before I move on from them? Y'all think USC is still a lock for the Final Four? I know it depends on regions. It does depends on regions. I feel like 3 teams might be a lock, and now 4th is up for grab. I don't think USC is a lock yet.
I don't think they're not a lock to me.
Yeah, they're not a lock for me as well. They're definitely not a lock.
I didn't want to say it.
No, they're not a lot. And we love Juju. Everybody know. I don't think we don't even hide the fact that we like Juju and how we feel about Juju, but that team is just not a lot. They're an Elite 8 team for sure. And the way they playing, And the way they playing, they can fuck around losing the Sweet 16 depending on who the matchup is. If we being honest about USC, but
the one good thing about it is Juju hasn't had like a real Juju stretch where she getting like 30 in a row, a couple games. So the law of averages, if it happens around March Madness time, they could get hot and go to the Final Four, but it just really depends on her. And if Lindsay is able to draw something up on that clipboard when it's needed.
Yes, I definitely agree.
I don't even think I started the clipboard on Saturday.
No, I don't think I've ever seen. Damn, I don't think I've ever seen her on.
Then there was that video of her. There was a video that went viral of her talking to Juju on the bench. Juju just like looking straight ahead. She's not even paying no attention.
That was that from the playback on Saturday against Ohio State? I think that's when it was when that shit happened.
I think so. Yeah, I think it was.
She looked over that whole game.
Yeah. I mean, she knows she's in a shooting slump. She knows it.
She frustrated.
It's frustrating because you like, I'm putting all this work in and I can't make a damn basket. It's frustrating.
Yeah, Lo, when was that when you went to the Maryland USC game? That was their first trip to the East Coast. What was that, January?
It was January, yeah.
Yeah, it was January.
Yo, they been going. They came this way or further for three trips, yo.
I'm saying, like their schedule's messed up. Like they'll go out on the East for 2 games, then come back home, play 1 game, then go back out on the East.
Yeah, so and people would sit here talking about, that's all the teams travel. Are y'all dense?
No, they don't. Are
y'all dense? They don't travel like that where you're literally crossing different time zones, you idiots.
No, not in college. Come on now. This is new for them. Every stadium was new for the USC. Like a lot of these stadiums they never even been to before because they don't even come this way. There's no reason to. So it's
somebody
like,
asked, at the Maryland presser, somebody asked Juju like how she likes the East Coast. She was like, this is her first time ever being on the East Coast. And she was just like, it's different and it's too cold. Like, so you know what I'm saying? Like they've been out here a lot. And of course they're tired. And I'm sure UCLA is tired as well, because they're traveling too.
Yes. And even being through that gauntlet, they've lost 1 game to Iowa, who played out their mind because Caitlin Clark jersey was getting retired.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Like through all of that,
even though they've been half-assing it, they still been stringing wins together.
Exactly. So if they get some rest, man, they might prove us wrong and win on Thursday. But as of right now, we got a UCLA in the sweep for sure.
Yeah.
Man, I want to do this to you, Nick, but your girls got their ass whooped.
They didn't even show the fuck up, man. They didn't even show up at all. Like that was just such a bad loss from the team, dog. Like I was confident, man. They're coming off a 6-game winning streak. They just beat Virginia. I know that Virginia is not one of the best teams in ACC, but they clicking. Everybody playing well. I got to give credit to NC State. Isaiah James is one of the best scorers in the country. If you haven't seen her play, or if you haven't heard of her, I would advise y'all to go check her out. She is a bucket. You know what I mean? But I mean, overall, NC State's guard play is just terrific overall. I mean, Sanaya Rivers, Madison Hayes, Zoe Brooks, honestly. So they just played a great, exceptional all-around game. They went up 20 at halftime. They went up by as much like I think like 26, 28 points. They pretty much handed it to Florida State, man. So I got to give them the credit.
Yeah, they do. When the next time Florida? Who do they play next? Florida State.
They play Louisville on Thursday. That's a win.
That's. Hey, we're gonna hold you to that. We're gonna hold you to that too.
Yeah, I bet money on them too when they lost.
I told you I was like, don't be coming to me. Don't come to me if they lose.
Hey, real quick, do not be coming to us for that. Hey, I'm talking to everybody. Don't come to us. Do not come to us talking about who should I bet on, because I'm gonna tell you go ask a professional.
Yep.
Because you're not gonna be in my DMs cussing me out trying to find my address. I'm just letting you know that now.
That's because people be throwing their mortgage on it. You know what I'm saying? Like they be betting. Like, look, I bet 10 cents. That shit don't hit. I'll be like, all right.
Right, fuck it. $1, $10. Hey, if I lose 10, fuck it. But a mortgage is not gonna happen. Who else lost this week? Ole Miss lost to Kentucky yesterday. Shout out Ole Miss.
Kentucky won, I thought, didn't they? Oh, or excuse me, no, Ole Miss.
Ole Miss won.
Ole Miss won.
Ole Miss did win. Okay, Ole Miss did upset. We said $5 max. Hey man, if I've been drinking or something, it might go up more. It might hit a dub. I ain't gonna lie to you, but don't tell Raina that. Ole Miss upset Kentucky. I don't even know what that score was, but shout out to Ole Miss. They probably heard us talking crazy about them.
57 or something like that.
Okay, well, shout out to them.
Hey man, y'all gonna have to start putting some respect on Coach Yo's name. I be seeing y'all slandering her and stuff, man. I know Coach Yo. I mean, look, I don't agree with everything Coach Yo does, as far as like schemes and everything, but you can't deny. I mean, she knows how to win games.
No, yeah, for sure, man. You know we're gonna talk crazy, but that was a big win. Kentucky is like 8 or 7 in the rankings, I believe. They've been on a little roll lately. I think Kentucky lost twice in the last since that Oklahoma game, I believe. Fact check that. I don't want y'all know the internet. You know the internet coming. They gonna be love to tell you when you're wrong. What else we got? Oh, Notre Dame. Notre Dame is number 2. If you follow me, you know I covered their last couple games, and listen, they just beat the shit out of these teams. Stanford, they beat the shit. Sorry to a friend of the show, Coach Erica McCall. They whooped their ass. I'm sorry, like that shit was. I couldn't believe it. We knew they was gonna win, but it was an ass whooping. And then they did the same thing.
In their defense, their best player got hurt. New got hurt.
She got hurt early.
She got hurt early in the game too. Like it was like
early.
Let's just be honest. They weren't.
I mean, they would have got cooked anyway. But it would have looked a little.
I don't mean to be disrespectful, but yeah,
they was gonna get cooked.
Tough crowd.
And then on Sunday they had Cal. And then I know Tom is in here. Tom told me to watch Lulu. I can't think of her last name, Twiddale or something. I would never take a recommendation from Tom ever again.
Lulu Twiddale from Cal. No, she's nice. She's really nice.
I don't know how nice y'all talking.
Shout out to Tom knowing his hoops, man.
I don't know, man. I watched her warm up. Didn't like it. Hey, I know it's Notre Dame. I know it's Notre Dame. I didn't like it. I didn't like what I saw. She's gonna let that shit go, and that's another thing you're gonna do against Notre Dame. But I will say this: I will continue. I'm going to continue to cover Notre Dame as long as they let me to, because this team, they are on a mission, and the experience was just to see Hannah go through her preparing and Olivia preparing, even like Sonia and Matt. Is it Maddie or is it Maddie? Right, Maddie. Yeah. Watching them prepare was an experience. Watching them throughout the game, just seeing the intensity. Listen, people trying to question Hannah make it into the league at 5'6", she can. Okay,
Wally said Kentucky's won 4 in a row since losing to Texas A&M. Cool.
Damn. Okay. So who did now? Who he say?
Kentucky. Remember, we had a fact check. Like,
yeah. Thank you. But Notre Dame is listen. They are a lock for me to be in the Final Four. Just watching this, and then them, like their best player, like Lo said, Stanford best player getting hurt. They did not. That was, like some teams be like, fuck it, we're gonna just play around. It was none of that. Coach Ivy did not even sit down for that until like the fourth quarter, and they was already up by like 45 points. That's when she sat down. You know what I'm saying? It was like she was coaching hard. Sunday against Cal, the same thing. Like it was close, and then they just went on a crazy run out of nowhere, like 18-0 to close out the half. And so Stanford ain't Stanford. They're not.
Definite Final Four team.
Yes. If Notre Dame is not in the Final Four, I'm gonna be shocked, because just the way they prepare and just asking Coach Ivy, like, what is it about her team? She said the coaching staff, they tell them about like, we're gonna go next on that foot on the neck all the time. We're not gonna stop, regardless of who's out there. And they showed it again on Sunday. Like they just whooped their ass. Coach Ivy is standing up, coaching hard, and they're up by 40 points.
40, right? Because
you're
building habits now for March.
Yes, and their last few, they're average wins at home right now is by 33.5 points.
Ridiculous.
Oh Lord, Florida State got to go in there in a couple weeks.
So Florida State gonna come there on the 27th. But yeah, so I'm convinced just watching them.
I need a generational game tonight.
I will be in the building for that. I can't wait. I will be in the building for that.
I know your ass driving up there.
I'm definitely gonna be there for that shit. Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna be in for that. But I definitely got Notre Dame going in the Final Four. Just watching them prepare, just seeing how everything is there, from the training staff to the coaching staff to the players. Like they don't play around. Like honestly, they don't play. Like You can't really talk to them during pregame. None of that shit. They don't give a fuck who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, but man, I got them locked in. So I don't want to try to show favoritism, but I'm locked in with Notre Dame for sure. They good to me. I'm good to them. Dead ass. But yeah,
as well.
Shout out to Goggles for sure.
Goggles,
I told her.
man.
I told her I called her that.
You
I told her I
did?
called her. Yeah, I told her. She
She
laughed.
said-
She thought that shit was funny. Yeah, she thought it was funny. I had to tell her. Cause y'all know what I'm talking when I say Goggles. Hey, one more thing. She is legit, man. Seattle, grab her. If she comes out, Seattle grabs her. Grab her. The playmaking, the seeing that shit live is just amazing. Like she be thinking 4 steps ahead than everybody already in college. And it's just her passes, and she can shoot. That 3 is consistent. And then paying her, and she with Hannah. Oh my God, Sonya hitting shit. Matt, yeah, but they got so much shit going on.
They told me that Paige was a better passer when I said Olivia Miles was the
Absolutely
best passer
not.
in the country. They told me Paige. I can pull up the tweets. They told me Paige was the best passer in the country. On the second game of the season, when Notre Dame played, I literally tweeted Olivia Miles is the best passer in the country, and they retweeted it and said, "You haven't seen Paige pass." I'm gonna send it to y'all. And y'all know who tweeted it too.
I already know because that person's insane. But yeah, man, that's all I got on Notre Dame. I also cover USC Wisconsin. You know, USC is like a rock star show right now. So I mean, it's always fun to see them and shit as well. Chop it up. It was kind of cool because like I could tell they remember me. So that was the dope part. Like the coaches and players and shit like that. So that's cool. Yeah, that was dope. That was dope for real. And I can tell Notre Dame players and coaches remember me too.
The more you go, that's the thing. The more you go to like the Homer games, like the more you at every home game, they gonna notice you, and then they start paying attention more, and then they'll, you know what I'm saying, like they'll answer your questions more, or give you whatever the case may be. So yeah, that's great that they recognize it.
It's dope. Yeah. It's real. And like Nick say, I'm 6'3". I usually wear my locks up like this. I'm always smiling and I talk, so you're not gonna forget.
And your
you know
voice
what I'm
is
saying?
very deep.
And my voice, right? You're not gonna forget that.
You're very personable just naturally, so I can see.
Yeah. So, but yeah, enough of them and everything else. I don't know where else college. Oh, real quick, LSU Texas on Sunday. Who y'all got for that?
I got Texas.
Where's it at? Is it Texas? Is it in Texas or is it LSU?
I think it's in Texas.
Somebody in the chat, Wiley, somebody fact check that for me.
If it's at, what do they call it? The PMAC. If it's in Louisiana, I'm going LSU. If it's in Texas, I'm going Texas.
I like that. Hey, play it safe. I like that.
Because
it's in Texas.
Okay, I'm going
Texas. Yeah,
I'm going Texas. Yeah.
I'm not that confident though, to be honest. Like, I think it's going to be very interesting to see Michaela Williams versus Madison Booker. I'm very intrigued by that. I don't think it's going to be a convincing win, but I'm gonna go with Texas. That's what my
I'm going with Texas because Big Four out here dropping albums on Valentine's Day. She ain't working about no
R&B Four, man. Y'all better go cop.
She ain't thinking about no.
What is it called? Flow and B, Flage and B, Flage and B.
I don't even know.
Do y'all know the process to make an album and drop it during the season? The process? You ain't thinking about hoops.
Maybe it's a mixtape.
You're not thinking about hoops, man. You're not thinking about hoops. But we're gonna leave college alone. Yeah, on the way to OTW the single. I ain't never heard it. I never heard it.
It is called Flaw and B. That's funny.
Oh my God. On to the pros, man. We had some real quick. If we got out of here, we're gonna knock it out with the pros and go to Unrivaled and skedaddle. Real quick, we got free agent update. The Aces got Dana. I like that pickup for them, for sure. I mean, they need people. They need people off the bench. You know what I'm saying? Like at this point, they're gonna be calling low soon. Seriously, like they just need people. Tiffany Mitchell went there, and who else went there?
Cheyenne Parsons.
There we go. That's the first one. I forgot. I should have been looking at my notes, and I'm just going off the dome. But Lo, how you feel about these pickups for them?
I think they're great, to be honest. I think that the Aces needed bodies regardless, so anyone that they were able to get would be good. But I actually like the pickups that they got. I think Cheyenne Parker Tyus was an absolute steal. This is someone who is 1 year removed from being an all-star. This is also someone who is 1 year removed from making $200,000. So the fact that she signed a training camp deal for $78,000, they gotta steal, bro. Like, I don't know how they did it. I guess like they're, she's like getting her lick back because last year she didn't have like a great year. So maybe she's trying to get her feet wet. So her next contract will be a payday. But like, I just don't know how they finesse this. Mark must be paying for baby girl to go to school or something, because it's just no way you go from agreeing to 200,000 to 78,000. You know what I'm saying? So anyway,
we wouldn't. We definitely wouldn't. You think about not being a pro hooper. I'm not doing that.
So that was interesting, but I think it's a steal. I literally can't wait to see her and Asia play. Asia finally has help in the post. The Dana Evans signing, I think I love that signing as well. I think the experience of her learning under Chelsea, just like she kind of did with learning under Sloot that championship year, will help her tremendously, just as she continues to develop and find like consistent minutes in this league. And just from a personal standpoint, I'm thrilled that she got away from those young Chicago fans that are extremely talented. They were rough on her all last year. So they're gonna have to figure out another scapegoat to blame things on. And
they're gonna be blaming Sloot.
Right. Since Sydney left, I think Dana is a good option off the bench to kind of run the show. And the good thing about Dana is she's not scared to let that thing fly. And that was one of the Aces' Achilles heels last year in regards to them not getting much bench scoring. So I like that she's not scared to shoot the ball, and so she'll come in and try to shoot. She's like a score first type of guard. So and then last but not least, Tiffany Mitchell. And I called it in a group chat. I said the Aces should go out to Tiffany Mitchell if they can afford her. And I think I'm a little bit biased because she's a friend of my other show that I'm on. However, Tiffany Mitchell can just flat out hoop. From a personal standpoint, I'm just glad that she's healthy enough again to hoop, because last year, if y'all don't remember, she was diagnosed with sepsis, which is a blood disease, and it can be fatal. A lot of people die from it. So I'm just grateful to God that she was covered and she has the opportunity to hoop at a high level. And many people forget about Tiffany Mitchell. Like, she was low key, and I said this before, the foundational piece that started the Tide tournament in South Carolina women's basketball. Obviously, Asia is synonymous with South Carolina basketball, but Tiffany Mitchell's name should be recognized as well because of what she did for that program, and hence that's the reason why they retired her jersey there last year. So this is someone that has 3 seasons in the WNBA scoring in double figures, like averaging double-digit scoring. So they'll need that off the bench as well. She can also, she's gifted at attacking the rim, getting to the basket, operating in the mid-range, and she can defend. She can defend. She's very strong because she's also a personal trainer. So people don't know that either. But I think one of the areas that she needs to work on this all season is shooting the long ball, because she's going to get a lot of open looks out there, and she hasn't shot that well. I think she shot over 30% from deep one time in the last 8 or 9 years that she's played in WNBA. So yeah, she got to work on that.
Definitely. What about you, Nick?
I like the moves for the Aces. It's like y'all said. I mean, they definitely need bodies, especially after losing players like Alicia Clark, like Tip Hayes. 2 pivotal pieces off the bench. Like one of the biggest questions that we've had. I mean, despite having a great starting 5, at the end of the day, you do need a great supporting cast, and acquiring players like Tiffany Mitchell, like Dana Evans, Cheyenne Parker-Tyus is just really big. I'm starting with Cheyenne. I think Cheyenne and Asia are going to work really well in the front court together. I think that Cheyenne can definitely make the game easier for Asia, because I don't think people realize, honestly, man. I mean, Cheyenne is actually a very underrated post player, honestly. I mean, she can face up, she can play with her back to the basket. She can do a multitude of things honestly. And I mean, it's part of the reason why she was an all-star in Atlanta, why she was able to thrive next to the likes of Ryan Howard, Alicia Gray, and other players. So I like that move. Dana, I know people have criticized Dana a lot, especially over this past year. I mean, let's just be real. I mean, it really wasn't that great of a year for Dana, especially after the 2023 year that she had, where she was a 6th Player of the Year candidate. But Dana could still play at a high level, honestly. I mean, she could be a good scorer with given an opportunity, a good playmaker. She's an exceptional on-ball defender, a great perimeter defender. So I think that she has certain attributes that can help this team, compete at a high level. So the Dana trade was actually really big. And then, of course, Lo talked about Tiffany Mitchell. Obviously, her already having a history of playing with Asia, and Tiffany has always been a really great veteran player, honestly. I mean, people may forget, but like, I remember a couple years ago when she played in Minnesota, how good she was in Minnesota. Then, of course, even last year during her time in Connecticut, how good she was, during certain stretches. So Tiffany has proven that she can be a valuable role player when given the right opportunity. Obviously, these are not names that people may have thought of, you know what I'm saying? Like whenever they think about the Aces going to go get like bench players, but I do think that they're good pieces, honestly, and I think that they can contribute in some way.
Yeah, I mean, considering the limited amount of money that they had, I think the Aces knocked this shit out the park, to be honest with you. Like considering the limited, I mean, because when you're paying, you gotta
get crafty.
When you're paying those 4 Olympians that much money, I think, and I also think the bench got better. Like I think, like yes, you're losing Tip Hayes and AC from a defensive standpoint, but I think that you have more scoring coming off the bench now. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. And so we'll see. And I think Becky will actually play these people. I would hope. So we'll see, because Becky has a love-hate relationship playing bench players. So hopefully they come into training camp, everyone's locked in, Becky gains trust in them, because I think that they're going to, if they want to get back to the finals and actually compete, they're going to need all 11 players on that team, including KB. So sister, I hope you're ready to play.
Absolutely. Since you did say Tip, we're gonna move right on to Tip, man. Tip signed with the Valkyries.
They shall.
To get KB on my team. Tip Hayes went to the Valkyries, man. They gave her the bag. I'm not mad at it. Go get your money, because you wasn't gonna get it with Vegas. And it is one of them unrivaled connections with her being teammates with Kate. You think Kate got her ass to come on over there?
No, that bag got her ass over there.
Nah,
that bag definitely did.
Bro, Tiffany has never got a $200,000 contract in her career. Like, so people were like, why didn't she? She literally got a max, almost a max contract. Like, and she's my age. She's 34, 35 years old. Like,
this is honestly the craziest thing. This woman just retired last year. And she got $200K.
Right.
Wow.
That shows you two things. That shows you two things. Well, mainly one thing. The Valkyries have nobody if they can give her a max, respectfully. Like they have nobody.
Remember they said they punted on it.
Huh?
Mm-hmm. They said like at a free agent special on ESPN, they basically said they were like punting on free agency, basically like going with big names because wasn't nobody trying to go there. So Tip was
I get it, right? I mean, but think about it, right? Most of these players are signing 1-year deals anyway to prepare for the bigger contracts when the CBA.
Absolutely.
So why would you waste 1 year going to a team that's just starting to get off the ground? Y'all going to be losing left and right. If I'm a top free agent, I'm going to a contender. I'm not. Why would I go there? Like, it's literally no benefit for them to go there outside of the new facilities and possibly decent weather. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But it's still California. I mean, you're gonna be taxed. They're gonna be taxed crazy still being in California.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. Like, so they're gonna have to draft somebody, or it's gonna have to be a free agent that not this year, but eventually takes the leap of faith and goes over there. But they'll probably get the number 1 pick next year.
I mean, a terrible time to be a expansion team when you got the new CBA coming up, yo. And they didn't they expansion draft was bad too. Like the whole thing was just bad.
They started off piss poor. Like, so I think if they had a better expansion draft, maybe not the biggest free agent names, but maybe you can get let me think, who was on the market that didn't go for too much. I don't know, but I just feel like if they drafted a little bit better, it would look a little different now.
Absolutely would have. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm gonna know. Who else signed? What else happened?
Alicia
Marina.
Clark, she got paid too.
Let's talk about Alicia Clark. Clark went to the Seattle Storm.
Where it all started.
She back with Gabby. Is that official, right? Gabby's official, right?
She's official.
Yeah, Gabby's signed too. Yeah.
We just never know with her. We just never know, but that's official. I mean, how y'all feel about Seattle?
They overpaid her too. Now, I don't want to say overpaid because these players deserve to be paid, but at her age, $185,000 is a lot.
No, for sure.
But that's because nobody is signing with Seattle, so they have to get bodies.
Yeah, a terrible year for Seattle as well, trying to get people.
Shout out to Jordan Horston. Terrible news with her tearing her ACL out the whole season. Just terrible, man. Just terrible. And just speedy recovery. Prayers up for her. And that's a major loss for a team in Seattle that didn't really get many free agents and doesn't really have, players that can go out there and score. So, man,
they better hope Goggles is leaving.
They better.
Goggles gonna save the franchise, man.
They better hope.
I think that's enough. That's not enough, though.
I mean, it's not enough to put them in like championship contention, but I mean, it helps them get to a on the right track. Yeah,
they better hope, because if she don't come out, what do you do with number 2?
I don't know.
To
justify number 2, you know what I'm saying? Like,
are they gonna pick Sonya?
I'm going for Kiki.
Sonya gonna be number 2 now?
Yeah, but who's gonna be Sonya?
Leave Sonya.
And this is the thing. I love Sonya's game. So when I say this,
she shouldn't be top 3.
But Sonya Citron should never be in top 3. And come on.
No, she shouldn't be top 3. She shouldn't be top 3.
But she's great on both ends of the floor.
She
great
is.
on both ends of the floor. Great player. But
honestly, I mean, Seattle could use another guard though. That's one thing I will say.
Izzy Harrison and Aerial Powers.
I was confused about why Izzy still isn't signed. Like, I was very confused about that.
What's she talking about? Yeah,
I don't know why Seattle's not knocking down her door. Maybe they are. And Aerial Powers, Kennedy Carter, she's still not signed either.
Man, I would hate to see I would hate for the W to start and Kennedy is not on the roster, yo. Because she can get buckets to somebody.
I don't know how her and Sky would be, but Seattle could use her. Seattle could also use Aerial Powers. That's somebody who can go get her bucket on her own.
Would be nice.
Yeah,
it would be. Man, somebody go get Kennedy, man, for real. But yeah, they need people too.
Kennedy probably trying to get the bag though, like
she
a max
is.
contract.
She is. Who gonna give that to her?
I mean, shit. If Tip Hayes,
I would try to go for that too. If Tip just got
200K,
I'm calling my agent right now. Listen, man, Tip got that much. Yeah. Listen, if Tip is getting that, let me get that check somewhere. But who else? No, I don't want her going there. But Connecticut, Marina. She asked for a trade out of Connecticut. First of all, I don't know why she ain't do that as soon as AT got up out of there.
I called
now, when they got up out of there, that breaking news of Marina should have came out that day. I don't know where she's gonna go. I don't know who's gonna go after her.
Connecticut, because her contract is dry.
Yeah, she's gonna be right there. Kennedy want a bag and want to start.
That's why if she go to Seattle, she'll start.
Seattle,
right?
Absolutely. An opportunity for both of that, to be honest.
So would you remove Gabby to the 3? So Sky at the 1.
I'm gonna say Gabby got enough length to play at the 3.
Mm-hmm. And then Goggles come off the bench if she comes out.
You bring Olivia off the bench if she come out.
But let's speak as if like Olivia doesn't. Like, okay, the starting line would still be Sky, Kennedy, Gabby, Nneka, Ezzy.
Yeah, and that's a solid lineup.
It is solid. What's the bench?
Sammy
Whitcomb. You lost Sammy.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, she signed with
Oh dang!
They show who did Sammy sign with?
Golden State could give Connecticut the 5th pick for Marina.
I wouldn't do that. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm not doing that.
Man, hell no.
No, I'm gonna go take my chance with Kiki. I'm gonna take my chances with Kiki. She at there at 5.
Go say whatever. I'll say damn mine. I mean, I like Marina Mabry, but let's just be real.
Like, I wouldn't do that. The 5th pick. I mean, the 2nd pick or whatever pick.
But she probably would reject that trade too, though, because she want to go to a contender. But it's hard to go to a contender when you making over $200,000.
Yeah.
Because think about it, even if you trade multiple bodies for her, you're only getting one body back in return, and you still got to fill out the roster. You know? Yeah,
it's not looking good. It's not looking good for sure.
Honestly,
I don't know.
Chicago got the cap space too, right?
I don't think so. Chicago. No.
I wouldn't do it either.
I think they have the cap space though.
Who?
Chicago.
She gonna request a trade out of Chicago to go back to Chicago?
Yeah.
No, they're not gonna do that.
Teaspoon is gone. That was the issue.
Chicago definitely got the space.
I told y'all what happened. Teaspoon is gone.
Yeah, that is true. You did. That shit's so wild, yo.
To be honest, like I highly doubt that this will happen, but I feel like Marina will really be a good fit if she wanted to go back to Dallas. It's my opinion. Especially off the bench. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, but if they were to,
she also doesn't. She thinks she's a star. She wants to start.
Listen, man, come May, she's gonna be in Connecticut.
She'll start on a playoff team though.
Her and Natasha Cloud, they just better get close because they're gonna be in Connecticut, child.
chilling over there.
Facts.
Yeah. Man, on to Unrivaled, man. Week 4, man. I don't even know if I want to talk about the gang. I was talking about this one-on-one shit.
Hang on, before we get there, Jackie,
go ahead.
Stay away from Miami.
Oh yeah.
Stay away from Miami. Go back to Vegas. Chill out there. Get ready for the W season. I'm sorry. We know you love the hoop, and
we know you love it,
and we know that you got to get the bag. I respect it. Please stay in Vegas.
The check is gonna clear.
Right. Like don't even step foot in Miami. Don't go on the beaches or nothing. Like
nothing. Nah. The check is gonna clear. The check is gonna clear still. Yeah. Yeah, go say you got like an obligation or something. Do something. Dallas got 4 players making $200K.
That's crazy.
I don't know how they had that allowed that to happen, but yeah.
What? Yeah, I saw that. Well, somebody told us in the playback that Jackie was in the weight room. Dallas got 4 players. Who is it? Wait a minute.
Probably Enrique, I'd assume. Enrique.
Yeah, Enrique.
Don't Big T make max money too?
Big T making max money.
Is DJ making max too?
I don't think D making max.
I think they gave her 175.
Nay is making max money.
I didn't know.
Maisha Hines Allen too.
Y'all thought I was joking.
Maisha Hines Allen though?
Yeah, no, that's blasphemy.
I mean that contract probably came.
They got $200K.
I thought she got 185. Damn.
And she can't make a jumper.
But hey, her in the list.
Hey, get your money, man.
Get your money. Get paid.
Hey, what'd you say, Nick? Kurt love black love, man.
Facts, man.
Keep the family together.
He kept the family together. Oh my god! But man, let's finish up with this Unrivaled, man. Week 4, man. A one-on-one started yesterday. Damn, she getting 200.
My Isha get more than Nay is disgusting, dog.
Crazy as hell, bro. That had to have been from
Nate. Sorry, Nate. So what?
That contract had to have been from Washington.
Yo, what the fuck?
Hold on. No, she came from Minnesota. Remember?
As a free agent?
Yeah.
They
didn't trade her to. She signed with Dallas as a free agent.
Oh, and they gave her $200K.
No, yo.
What?
No way.
And they still have $300,000 left. How? Oh, because Paige is going to be on a rookie contract.
Yeah, true.
Who else is on a rookie contract?
They signed her $200,000 as an unrestricted free agent.
Is Maddie still on a rookie contract? Maddie,
I mean, she's on like year 3, I think.
So yeah, she's still on a rookie contract.
I'm dumbfounded.
Somebody else is on a. Oh, and
I'm dumbfounded. I'm dumbfounded at these prices.
I don't know how they still have money. That's nuts.
They signed Maisha. Shout out to Maisha Hines Allen. Shout out to her.
Shout out to her for sure. And you know what? Shout out to her agent. How about that? Shout out to her agent.
200,000
being said.
208. Get it right, Nick.
Or 208. Excuse me. 208,000.
Yes.
Man, fuck. She got 208. Nay got 200. God damn. But 200. That's from Connecticut.
This is a bench. I'm not even trying to be. This is somebody that historically has come off the bench her entire career. Yeah. And you giving her $208,000? That's nuts.
Man, I'd be gladly be in Dallas too.
We're not saying like she's a bad player, but
right? She not. I love her game actually. I think she's great off the bench. She gives you. She's gonna rebound. She's gonna play hard. She's a big body that will bulldoze through you. You know what I'm saying? Like the 208.
How many years is that though?
Damn, Nick is dumbfounded.
That's a 1-year deal. They show.
Yeah, give us the fact while we move on.
I feel like most people sign 1 year.
Can you look that up, Wiley? Maisha Hines Allen contract.
Somebody, man, it's crazy.
All right, yeah, let's wrap this up. Unrivaled.
What we're going to? Unrivaled, man. Week 4, man. One-on-one started yesterday.
Yeah,
1 year. I mean, hey, take it then. Fuck it. She won't be there next year. Not for that price, she won't. Man, how y'all feel about one-on-one, man? I think I already know, but for the people who wasn't in playback the last 2 days, how y'all feeling about this one-on-one stuff?
I forgot about that. She is still on a rookie contract. This is her last year.
Great matchups. I would like to see, like, to me, like, I think you need to put position by position. Like 2 guards should be playing centers. Like, it's just kind of weird to me. But overall, I think we've seen a lot of competitive games. I mean, I think the ones that stood out, obviously Fee and Rakia that just took place tonight. I was a really big fan of Dearica against Skylar. Skylar took care of business, and she was locked
business.
in.
Yes.
And of course, I ain't gonna lie, Brianna Stewart, we got some questions for you. Losing 12-0 to Aaliyah Edwards. I mean, look, I'm not trying to say that in a disrespectful way, but Aaliyah Edwards is going into her second year at the WNBA, still he's a 3-time champion, and you can't score one basket. What are we doing here?
Wow, you insane. Wow.
I ain't gonna lie, that was perfect.
That was perfect timing.
That was perfect.
Shout out Wiley, man. We lit over here, man. We lit over here. God damn. Go ahead.
That was just disgusting. But originally, I did pick Rakia to win, but unfortunately, she lost. So now at this point, I think Fee's gonna take the whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely. No, for sure. What about you, Lo?
There's just been competitive hoops for the most part. I think some changes, of course, have to be made, but for it to be the first season to be doing this, I think it's just setting an example to other sport leagues of the potential of different things that they could do to make it more interesting for the fans and stuff. They have to definitely change the seeding or however they pick these matchups. I agree with Nick. It should be position by position. Like big should not be playing guards. Like it's just, I mean, what are we doing at this point? And also the free throw thing drives me nuts. If you get fouled at the 3-point line, you shoot one free throw and that equals 3 points. Like that's
insane.
Yeah, that's if you get fouled.
That's how Court beat Courtney beat who she beat like that.
Was it in the feet? No, she didn't beat
Ryan.
She beat Ryan Howard.
She beat Ryan like that. Yeah. Ryan, it was a close 2. Ryan fouled her. She went to the free throw line. She made one free throw. I thought it was gonna be one, and it was for 3 points, and she won.
Yeah, so definitely, I think they'll look at things next year and change it. But like for the first inaugural season, I thought it was great. I think it brings something different, and you see the competitiveness between these ladies. And I mean, like
they're not even shaking hands.
Like a few times, like especially with who was that, Satu and Nay, like. Satu knocked her ass down hard, and like Satu tried to put her hand out to help her out, and they was like, "Not, nah, like you know what I'm saying, like fuck out of here." So I love seeing that competitive nature. I love the whole idea of just 1v1. So I'm a fan of it.
Yes, like I have no. The one thing I don't like is Nick brought it up was the shot clock, 7 seconds.
Too little.
Listen, you do one dribble, it's 5 seconds.
Right.
Like you don't even have.
That's the thing too, because it's like whenever I went back and watched the games earlier today, I was like, yo, like they're shooting shots quick. Like as soon as like they check the balls, like they getting up a 3, and I'm like, why are they doing that? Then you realize it's 7 second shot clock. Like that's not enough time to operate how to get a shot.
And I get it. They don't want you to be dribbling, but like 10 seconds. Come on, just put at least 10 seconds on it.
At least 10 seconds. At least. Hold on, pause for a second. Real quick. I'm gonna address this. Listen.
Oh, right.
Tom, listen. Nobody cares, dog. I just want you to know that. I just want you to know that. Nobody does. This is what the Bulls should be doing. But anyways, back to the show at hand. I love this, man. I love the competitiveness. This is something we would love to have seen in the NBA, but that's never going to happen because what we're seeing with these ladies, you know what I'm saying? Like they like Ray. I forgot who Ray lost to, but she walked off the court. She didn't.
That was her teammate. Wasn't that not Dearica? It was Azare. Yeah.
Yes, that's who it was. Like, yeah. So it's but what's the name? Did say Kyle definitely said they should the big should have their own bracket. The Laces kind of messed up this too by having whatever they got going on. Somebody's sick, they passing shit around over there. So
that was my one other harp is like it's not fair that like when Aaliyah Edwards played Leash, like Aaliyah Edwards didn't play a previous game, whereas Leash played a previous game the same day. And everyone else pretty much played a game that day as well. It's hard to play one-on-one back-to-back like that. And I get it because the Laces, they were all eliminated due to whatever illness that's going around there. But it's hard to play that competitive back-to-back and like within an hour's time frame. Like that's difficult, you know?
It is. And we didn't even know. We didn't even know that shit was going to be like that tonight. So that's really confused us. But overall, man, I love it. I think it ends on Friday or Saturday. I believe it is. I think it ends Friday.
I think so, yeah.
I will try to have it up for y'all for people who can't watch it, but that's Valentine's Day, and I got a hot date with this girl I met. So, I got somewhere to be. So yeah. So man, I got nothing else to say, man. What else y'all got about this? We can move on from this and go straight to player of the week and get up out of here.
I ain't even pick one. Y'all can go. I ain't pick one.
Oh man, my Queen Raina as well. You gonna start calling me King J for sure. God damn it. But my player of the week is the entire Notre Dame team. The way they were just whooping ass this week. Like you beat two teams back to back by 40 plus. Hey man, you my player of the week, team of the week. That's what I got. How about you, Nick?
Yeah, so y'all know it's Black History Month. I'm gonna give y'all some history.
Oh yeah, that's right.
No, I'll go with Lynette Woodard, who is a former Kansas Jayhawk, the original all-time leading scorer in college history before Caitlin Clark actually scored. I don't know. It's like, I guess it's like they don't count her because she technically played for the AIAW, which technically
they say because it wasn't the NCAA.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, still.
However, real quick. However, they count Tar's coaching wins outside of the NCAA. They include that in her resume, and when they're talking about her overall wins, they include when she was coaching whatever other league. They include those wins. So it's interesting that they don't include the points for the other lady.
Yeah.
That's weird.
But even aside from that, career average, she averaged 26 points per game at Kansas. Former Olympic gold medalist, 4-time Kodak All-American. Just a great all-around player, man. So shout out to
her. And Lo, you say you had nobody, right?
Yeah.
Tom, I talked about that.
Let's see.
Taylor Jones being Texas best player in big games.
He missed that, and he was here for that. We're not going to go backtracking.
She was big in the last game, though.
She was. See how they move when it comes. Definitely. Everybody catch me from your birthday is Friday. No less than 100. Hey, real quick. Hey, Wiley gonna be in Chicago with us for Beyonce on the 17th. Pew pew pew. He texted me, so it's gonna be a time. It's gonna be a time. Yeah, I don't know how Wiley fought them cues, man. I wasn't doing it. I gave up. I wasn't gonna do that.
So what you do?
Me? I'm just gonna get a ticket. I'm just gonna pay a resale price.
Oh, got it.
I'm just gonna play resale.
He talking about I didn't want to fight through the queue. Dude, all you gotta do is just be on your phone. Like what? Man, you don't gotta stand in line. You just be on your phone.
No, and them queues was insane, dog.
Yeah, so you go in the queue and you put your phone down and you do what you're doing. You go back and look at it.
No. Yeah, general sale is Friday, so we'll see.
I love Beyonce.
You got somebody that's in the beehive. When you got somebody that's in the beehive that's willing to wait and fight through it, you get results.
You do get results.
Not slick either, bro. Like she knows it's tax season.
She does every time. Beyonce does tax season stuff every time. I have 40K people ahead of me. Yeah, I'm not dealing with that. Yeah, I wasn't dealing with that. Yeah, general sale is Friday, so if I don't get them in.
40,000 people ahead of you. You gotta be in the nosebleed shit.
2 hours.
You going to the Texas show, right, Dayshell?
I believe Dayshell when she said she fought for 2 hours. You know, Dayshell gonna get them tickets, man.
I knew if I knew one person on the time I was gonna get them tickets, baby. Guess who I knew was gonna get them? Dayshell. Okay, she been waiting for her for months.
I ain't gonna hold you, man. Shit. Sometimes I don't like fighting them queues. Just give me the resale because. I just pay the extra because I ain't got time. Houston night 1, that's dope. 17 for us.
In Houston, man. It's gonna be a show.
It is. I'll pay the resale for sure. But yeah, it's gonna be dope, man. I get to hang out with Wiley and where he sit is where I usually go get tickets at Soldier Field too. So it's gonna be a fun night.
You're gonna be looking down up. No, I was kidding. Let me chill. I'm joking. I love you, Wiley.
Yeah, you insane. Let's get up out of here.
He can't help himself.
He couldn't. Just real quick, man. Man, shout out to y'all coming to the playbacks, man. I'm glad y'all do that because we do it multiple times a week for y'all, and y'all coming out. The next one will be on Thursday. Like I said, on playback. I don't know if everybody gonna be there because UCLA, USC is at 10 Eastern. 10 Eastern. So that's just a late time. But man, like always, we're gonna be back here on Tuesday. I don't know about Unrivaled on Friday and Saturday, but y'all will see us on Monday for sure. But man, Lo, Nick, y'all got anything to say before we get up out of here?
Shout out to Kendrick Lamar. That's all I got to say, man. Dope show.
Oh yeah. Shout out to him. But also, man, kill out knows about Wayne. That would have been awful.
Man, nobody trying to see him swing his 6 dreads.
Yeah, nobody trying to see that shit. But man, we love y'all. Man, till next week. Peace. And Wally, hit the goddamn music so we get the hell up out.